Hey, Gangrone here. Welcome on back to the Cade and another episode of Suckerpunch Sunday. And for this week, we are going to mark the 30th anniversary. Yeah, it's been 3 decades since this little game about a fairly unknown earthworm who managed to find a superpowered spacesuit broke onto the video game landscape, and lo, the world was never the same again. We're going to play the original Earthworm Jim. Now, if you were of teenage years like I was in the mid-90s, then seeing ads for this game and this franchise were not uncommon at all. Sega marketed the heck out of it to compete with Super Mario World, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, everything they could to try and get a leg up in the console wars that were ongoing at the time between Sega and Nintendo. Now, this game did come out on the Super Nintendo, and it came out on the Genesis / Mega Drive. It was also released on the Game Gear, the Game Boy. It was released on PCs, and then down the line, it was even put on the PS3 and the Xbox 360 as a fully remastered version. That came out in 2018. But what we're doing is we are going back and we're playing the original 1994 run and gun classic from the Genesis. Now, I do this freely conceding the fact that in 4 decades of playing video games, Earthworm Jim is one I've never played before. I've never played this game. Never got a chance to play it as a kid. Never really got a chance to play it until now. Now, you may ask, how does this apply for being a fighting game or a fighting platform game? Well, this is what we call a run and gun game. It's no different, really. Ow. Down, boy. We have launched the cow. I don't know what all that benefit that had. Not a clue. But as I've said many times, growing up in a family that I had a sibling who had a Genesis, but he didn't play games like this. He was very much into sports games. Oh, come on. I gotta be able to get there and get those. Alright, you're not gonna let me go get them. First thing I notice is that Jim's controls for being a platformer are not great. I should be able to jump up and get those. Why I'm not able to, I have no idea. Or being able to go get those. Alright, so it looks like I'm gonna have to go up this treadmill or whatever it is. Get off me, bird. Oof, I'm almost already dead here. But I got to continue, so that's good. It's nice to see that we have got that option in here at least. Oof! I've gone kaput. Get off me. There we go. Let's grab onto that. Get off me, you damn bird. Jeez. They don't waste any time pulling any, and they don't pull any punches in this game. And I has died again.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, go away.
Ow. 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 Ow.
You have to think first and then make sure that... Ah! Well, that wasn't very helpful.
Oh, yeah.
So I got one more guy here.
Ouch.
Being able to point and shoot and knowing what... There.
Ow.
Oh, get off me.
Ow. Ow.
I thought I had that one clipped.
Ow.
No!
Ow.
Ah! Too many enemies around in all directions. My God. Well, when this game came out in '94, it was fairly evenly critiqued on both the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo reviews for EGM gave it an 8.4 out of 10, while the Genesis was 8.75 out of 10. And then the Sega CD version, they gave it an 8.9 out of 10. Next Generation Magazine gave all three versions 4 out of 5. Mega Magazine gave it 92%, while Computer Game Review gave the Windows 95 version a 68%. In terms of awards, Video Games awarded it for 1994 the best game for the console, being the Sega Genesis. Alright, so we've already gotten rid of the cow. Ah. I'm glad there's not a timer in this. Ah! The controls are not easy. And again, playing on a Genesis controller is part of the problem. Because you're having to play it on the D-pad as opposed to playing it on a joystick. Get these frickin' birds out of the way. I can't jump on those tires and I can't get to the gun. Aha! But I can climb up that way. Alright, well I'm doing okay as far as life goes.
Ow!
Can I get on one of those? There we go. Ah! Thought I had it. Nope. Ah! I know there's probably going to be a better way to get through this level if I go up that way, but I got to be able to time the jumps right. But I'm not able to do it.
Yippee! Ow!
Ow.
Ow!
Hit by the TV, hit by another TV.
Oh yeah!
Alright, what is that up there? Ah! Whoa! Alright, so I can't go that way, which means I gotta go back down this way. Take this bird out. Whew, okay, so we got through that bit. Run! Run, Jim! Holy cow!
Oh yeah! Ouch!
Because that thing is such a terror.
Ouch!
Get off my butt!
Ow!
Ooh. Wow. Okay. This is an area of complete and utter chaos. There. Sheesh. Alright, now those are gone. See if I can actually get a little bit further here. There we go. Alright, so we gotta work our way back around here. Whoop. It won't let me get up there. Alright, so which way can I possibly go? Looks like I have to go back that way, and it looks like I've got to catch that ledge. But that ledge is just far enough away that it's not really reachable. Now, in their reviews, GamePro argued that the game has the most innovative gameplay since Sonic first raced onto the Genesis, backing up that point by noting that in the first level, New Junk City, Jim leaps off old tires, climbs strange crevices and cliffs, swings from chains, and creeps through a maze of garbage, and that's the most traditional level in the game. It's also, quite possibly, the easiest, which means this is only going to get more crazy as we go. Ah, okay. So it looks like I've got to go up that way and over, but that means I got to get up. I still got to be able to get back up to where I can jump this ledge. Because I can't jump on these tires. That would make life easy. And I shouldn't be wasting ammunition if I don't need to. Oh, come on, Jim. I mean, graphically, this game, I love the cartoonish aspect of it. But, are you kidding me, really? Come on. There we go. Now, there should be a way that, if anything, I could, like, pull that line over and send it this way. As opposed to hoping to run and do a prayer jump from there. Because, yeah, just trying to get over to this, you just don't have enough. If I got on the moose's head, then I could jump over, but yeah, they go all this way. And then just hope you can climb onto that one little edge. And Jim's just not able to get there. So if I do like a double jump, I can kind of get him to spin a little bit, but even that's not really going to get me that far. Ah! You've got to be kidding me. There has to be a way to get him up there. Here. Oh, really? 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 So if I'm able to get up there... That moose head is glinting for some reason. Are you... Wow, okay. So I gotta be able to get down that way, it looks like, but there's no real way down. And I can't go up. I've tried that. And I have to admit, this is one of the things that's about these sorts of games that made them so infuriating back in the day. They really were. As I blow up again. Because in order to get to where I want to be able to go, it doesn't look like there's a way to get there. I mean, this is saying to go down, but in order to go down, I'm going to be able to go that way. But if I can't go that way, because I can't get up around this lip, because there is a crevice here, or a little stalactite that sticks down. It makes it so I can't get over there. I can't shoot the moose's head. Whoop. Okay. So that's apparently doing something. But not doing nearly enough. But if you can imagine what it was like in the 90s, being able to having to work your way through these types of games. Without having the internet, without having playthrough guides or YouTube or anything of the sort. Then yeah, the level of how much a game like this would drive you up the wall is not outside the realm of possibility. It really isn't. Like, yeah, I was totally stuck there. That was as far as I could get. So, and it's game over, which means I would have to start all over again. So, in a nutshell, that is Earthworm Jim to somebody who has never played it in the 30 years since it first came out. Which does beg the question, is it a good game? Well, I'd love to be able to tell you more about it, but I only got through maybe one half of the first zone and had no idea how to get the rest of the way through it. And those sorts of games, like I said, can be really enjoyable if you have the patience and the means by which to figure it all out. But for a lot of people, they can be so annoying and so frustrating that it doesn't ultimately matter how good the game is. The people that want to be able to play it and enjoy it really can't. Now, since it's a game that they've remade a couple of times, I mean, they could easily remake it and do an updated version today, I have no doubt. They did do an official sequel to Earthworm Jim, which was Earthworm Jim 2, and that came out in 1995. And as far as I know, it was still as highly regarded as the original version. But I don't know. I mean, this is a game that obviously I would need to spend a lot more time getting affiliated with and figuring out how to play. But I mean, in terms of the difficulty of it, like right now, the thing that I'm hearing a lot about from people online, and like I said yesterday for Sports Saturday, with the expansion DLC for Elden Ring coming out, Shadow of the Erdtree, a lot of people are revisiting the game and also obviously taking a look at the new content. And the big complaints is that the game's gotten exponentially harder, and Elden Ring wasn't an easy game to begin with. And having played a ton of it myself, I'm inclined to agree with that. But the difference between a game like Elden Ring and a game like Earthworm Jim, being 30 years older, is that because you are totally left in a lurch with no idea of how to navigate through pretty much anything in this game, that, in a lot of ways, makes it harder than having an open world game like Elden Ring. It really does. It's a game where, unless you know somebody who knows somebody who's played the game, or you are able to figure out all the nuances and all the little things that you gotta figure out just to navigate through one level, let alone the entire game. I don't even know how many levels in this game there are. In the research I did, it didn't give me too much of an idea of how many were there. But if they were to redo it again or do a version of it for today's audiences, they would probably have to redesign quite a few of the levels and put in a little bit more of a difficulty curve to make the first level or two a little bit easier to negotiate. You can still make it difficult. I mean, I don't know many gamers who want to be playing on God mode all the time. But there has to be some give and take. And in the 25 minutes I was playing, that was as far as I could get, because there was no indicators of which way to go. No rhyme or reason to the way the level was laid out. I was lucky enough to find the 2 continue spots, but that was it. You know, people will look at the non-conventionality of it and say that's part of the charm of the game. It could be, but for me, it's part of the problem with it, and it's part of the reason why if I go back and play it again, I'm definitely going to have to do a whole lot of watching on YouTube and figuring out, learning how this game functions, going in cold. This is a game that I can already tell I would have destroyed many a controller back in the day. But again, that's just me. What is your experience been if you were an Earthworm Jim player back in the 90s? If you discovered this game on the Super Nintendo or on the Sega Genesis, what was your experience with it at the time? Was it an easy game for you? How long did it take you to figure out how to negotiate your way through the levels? I'm genuinely curious about that because I think it's very telling in regards to how we look at the inherent difficulty in most games and how they are designed and who they're ultimately designed for. But in the meantime, that is Sucker Punch Sunday for this week. If you've been enjoying the content, it's always best way to show it. Hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, ring the bell to be notified of new episodes as they come out. We are still continuing with our revisitation of Metal Gear Solid for the PS1. We'll have new episodes that will pick up tomorrow and Wednesday, and then we will have Sports Saturday back again this weekend, where we are soldiering on in our great what-if scenario of what would have happened if the New England Patriots had never found Tom Brady. If Tom Brady never existed, could they be a Super Bowl winning dynasty? And we are putting that theory to the test on the Sega Dreamcast version of NFL 2K2. We're 2-0 in the series so far. We beat Carolina this last weekend. I freely concede it wasn't the most breathtaking game, but sometimes you take a win however you can get it. Be sure to follow us on social media through Instagram and Threads. It runs Retrocade, helps spread the word about us so we can continue to make this channel bigger and better. My name is Ronan. It's been great to spend the Sucker Punch Sunday with you. Be safe, be well, happy gaming, and above all, people, stay cool out there. It has been a hot weekend in a whole lot of places, so make the best of it and hope you get through it, and we will talk to you tomorrow as we head back to the frozen tundra and much needed cold air to save the world again in Metal Gear Solid. Bye.